Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. The next Wasteless World Talks are here with Bill and Kevin, and a new word, new term. And I am sure it will be interesting discussion today because the term today is peace. And I will start with you, Bill, if you close your eyes and I say the term peace. What came first to your mind, please?
Hippies. Hippies from the 1960s when we protested the war. Some people think that is victory, but it's also peace. The symbol, the circular symbol with the chicken feet in the middle, is peace. How about you, Kevin?
I think that peace is one of the few things that is worth fighting for. Ironic as that sounds, but it is something which doesn't occur by itself. It's something we have to. It's interesting. We refer to preserving peace, and I think it's more than that. We need to fight for peace. We need to really work hard. It's one of the most important things we can do, is to work positively towards keeping peace, because it doesn't happen naturally.
So, can I take issue with a couple of things that you said? Fighting for peace is like screwing for virginity, isn't it? That's the
exactly that. Yeah, that's the irony of it. But I think that you think of America's golden generation, the guys who fought against Germany in the Second World War. That was a fight worth fighting because of the peace that came afterwards. You think there hasn't been a real hot war in Europe since then.
Is there peace in nature?
It's harmony in nature rather than peace.
Harmony. That's a good point, yeah.
On the other hand, it's we can speak about the peace of mind, and I think we can find a peace of mind in nature, but we find it in harmony. It's these two are very closely connected. And what about the connection between peace and freedom?
Those are not synonymous. Freedom also means different things to different people. Freedom to do what? But freedom has to be constantly fought for, I think. So we're full of fighting this morning, aren't we? For the word peace.
And not only that, because there are a few days ago there was established a foundation for world peace by Dr. Ash, who is a Pakistani and who is joining generally the noon discussion for a longer time. And it's quite interesting. It will start to be visible very soon. We have very similar intentions. So wasteless world, I was asked whether wasteless world is peaceful. Yes. For me, they are very close together. Peaceful world and wasteless world are one for me, because you cannot do it wasteless if there will be a war, because war creates waste.
War is waste.
War is waste, exactly.
Michael, what is the name of that association again?
Foundation for World Peace. There exists another organization since 1970, exists a World Peace Foundation, or 70 whatever, but not to be confused, not to be one. So we decided to change the name of his foundation to Foundation for World Peace, because it will be clear, visible, and the intention is very clear. So it's already the foundation become the one of the Industry 5.0 alliance members. So because it's so close, So we decided to sign a deal together, or a contract or cooperation, and it will be quite interesting. So I'm looking forward to. And if we come back to the plans of the new U.S. president, one of his first was peace, end the war. That has been his words in one of the election campaigns, or several election campaigns.
So we're 10 minutes into this discussion and we've not attempted to define peace. Is peace simply the absence of war? What is peace?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, Bill, because for a lot of people, solitude is peace. So peace can be an individual thing as well as a collective thing, but I think basically it boils down to being left alone.
If you say, leave me in peace, I don't know if it's the standard to say this in English, but we say this. And both of you are learning Russian. There exists not a sentence, two words. Miru, mir. Mir means peace, but at the same, it means the globe, the earth. So peace to the earth is miru, miru.
And
I guess
peace, there's also a difference between peace, physical, we mentioned solitude, but I am at peace with myself. So that's internal, it's emotional, it covers a number of different topics.
What do you think is the color of peace?
I would guess my first inclination is white. It's the absence of conflict.
But some say green, this olive green, they say.
Green.
Because olive green is a color which is combined from the basic colors, yellow and blue, and I think some more, and this creates together olive green. So yes, Kevin?
I think I always associate olive green with the color of war machines, tanks, airplanes, all those kinds of missiles. So I wouldn't say green. I think that peace isn't so much a color as that it's a lack of flags. I mean, take away flags and we'd have a lot more peace, I think.
Take away what?
Flags.
Flags. Yeah. At first I thought you said black, take away black, but take away flags, absolutely.
And we are coming back to patriot. You remember our discussion a year ago or even longer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the flag, take away the flag and you're going to have a lot more peace, resonates here in America because the president-elect followers would drive around town in great big pickup trucks with one or two huge American flags. Usually their pickup trucks would not have mufflers on them, so it's very in your face sort of demonstration of support. And so flags and I remember the president-elect some time ago, I don't know if it was this election, but and he was on stage and he went over and he hugged the flag, right? And so yes, take away flags and you will have more peace. I like that.
And one interesting thing is that almost every government has, in one name or another, a minister of defense or a minister of war or minister of aggression, but there's no ministers of peace. Even in 1945, you would think that every country would have a minister of peace to rebuild the world.
And instead of that was created the United Nations, who should take care about the peace. But as the result we see here all around, the latest COP29 in Azerbaijan. It started generally with a footage how the boss of COP29 agrees that it will be on camera. It was a secret camera or hidden camera, that he will support the advertisement for crude oil or whatever. It was unbelievable. And still the people are there putting their hands together, or everything paid, 14 days holiday for free. You just need to be positive.
I'm sure they'll be able to do plenty of good deals during those 14 days.
I'm sure they will. They will. And speaking about the deals, have you seen yesterday? I know, Bill, that you do not want to hear the name of Elon, but have you seen the statement from President Donald J. Trump published yesterday about the creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which should Elon Musk lead together with Vivek Ramaswamy, if I'm not wrong. And you know what is the content of this new whatever? To prevent waste happen.
I'll be really interested to hear what their definition of waste really is. It may not be the same as ours.
It was, I have seen some of the followers or ministers or whoever who listed some amounts which has been wasted by the current administration. So billions of dollars for that and support of Ukraine or whatever, which they don't know what happened with the money. So I think there will be a lot of, but in Industry 5.0, we like to prevent waste happen, but the issue is that we start all the time with the ones who say that it should be waste prevented. So I am for that, let's do it. Unfortunately, nobody replied to my cooperation offer. Not sure why.
Because your definition is different from their definition. Because they are taking the word waste and hijacking it, politicizing it, until people will begin to hate the word waste because it's such a lie.
Crazy part, the same day, yesterday, announced the Czech Ministry of Environment. They announced new incentive, new funding for waste prevention. And it's about 400 million, which is about, 10 million US dollars or 20, something like that. It's not a small amount, but in the first sentence already it is for waste prevention. You can buy garbage bins and processing machinery and whatever. So you buy something from this waste prevention to process waste. It's exactly this hijacked story.
It's just a way to make money.
It is.
I just became aware of a new business that I guess has been out there very quietly for a while, and that is all of the restaurants. They serve the dinner, the meal, and then the people pay and they go home, and the servers take the plate with still half of the food on there. And they used to put it in, big plastic garbage bags and throw it in the dumpster. Now there is a a truck that looks like a small dump truck, and it comes around to the restaurants and collects the food. I don't know if they put it in compost piles or what they do with it, but that's a way to separate uneaten food, uh, separate from the napkins or other waste that is thrown out. I promise you, I will look more deeply into this. But waste prevention is such a hijacked term, and maybe peace is too.
It was quite interesting because if you think that almost all the terms which we have discussed, and there has been quite a lot of already, has been used in a positive so as in a negative way, many of those.
Right.
But peace is hard to use in a negative way. It looks like it has only the positive. The hijacking which you mentioned is done by those people who meet every year and speak about peace in the middle of war. So they are signing a new war. I just have an idea. Why not to make these meetings, these peace meetings, in the middle of battlefield? You know, it will be much shorter, much cheaper, and I'm sure many wars will end.
Yeah, and you would no longer get these rich giants flying their private planes and landing them on the battlefield so that they can talk about peace.
Kevin.
I was just thinking if there was profit to be made out of peace, all the giants would be doing it by now. But I don't think peace pays. So for them, there was no interest.
I think peace is very profitable, but they did not discover how to charge the peace. You know, it's like if we come back to Nikola Tesla and this wireless power distribution. Already he proved it's possible, and not just for centimeters, for meters and longer distance. But the issue is how to charge it. You know, the solar was exactly that. We get the solar for free. How we charge it to the people. And I think with the peace, it will be very similar, you know. Everybody, I think there are very few people in the world who really appreciate war. Even the people who make money out of the war, they are not appreciating it. They know it's very profitable. It's one of the craziest part which I discovered. War industry is the generally number one profitable industry in the world, but no numbers are known. Nothing is public, you know, but it's understood as the most profitable industry in the world. So maybe we should. Yes. Sorry.
I mean, the way they sell it to us is, of course, that these weapons are preventing war. So it's really whatever the price is, it's worth paying for. So we will never be told how much we really spend, or how much money they make in profit rather than what we spend, because of course we'd all give money to live in peace. But I don't think peace is their end goal, because they got to use these things to make more of them.
But at the same time, I think it is possible to turn it around, as many things. You know, as they misuse it, it's so easy to narrow the understanding. And you know, with the weapons, you can sell Kalashnikov to the attacker for 100, but to one who protects himself or herself, you sell it the same Kalashnikov for 500. Just name it different. And I just saw somewhere numbers how skyrocket right now the defense industry and so on all around the globe. Generally, you see what's happening in China, Singapore, African nations, some of the African nations, Europe, of course, and I think the US will be similar. So I think the peace is a really interesting term, And at the moment, we are living in interesting times where it can turn. And do you think, Bill and Kevin, that if it will prove that it is more profitable than a war, then they will switch the support? That then there will be the minister of peace instead of the minister of war? Is it really only?
I remember in the 60s, there was a lot of talk about the peace dividend. The fact that we didn't have a world war meant that the dividend of peace was that we could all go into producing houses, producing cars, and improving our standard of living. So for a long time, peace was seen as a way of improving living standards and life expectancy as well, of course. But I think those days are behind us now. It's back to, there's no point in making a bomb when you can make 3 bombs. You just got to get rid of the other 2 first. So if we got weapons, we'll use them.
We have seen what happened with the drones. So a few years ago, drones has been toys. Today, they are killing machines. And I have just seen before we joined, you remember this Boston Dynamics dog, as he walked, this robotic dog. For a long time, from the beginning, I asked why doesn't he have wheels on the legs as an additional functionality. I just saw a test of a Chinese version of those riding through forest in such a speed with no limit. Even me on unicycle will have very difficulty in this terrain what the machine can do and easily manage because it has wheels. So it was very fast. And I have seen the first test on assembling this type of robot with a gun.
Yeah, of course, it's going to have a gun and not a stretcher, not a medical kit.
So I think it's important to talk about peace again, and not on the level on which it is discussed today because it's worthless. So it's 70 years for investing in more in a situation in which peace is less present than the war.
Yeah, as you guys are talking, I'm thinking, why do we have war? I don't think that we have war to make rich people richer. The people, okay, but I do agree that a lot of people get rich from war. But why did Putin go into Ukraine? Was that so that Putin could be richer? No, it was because of ego, nationalism. I don't know. I'm not an expert in the field, but it's not because Putin wanted to be richer. It's not because Ukraine grows really good, wheat, and he wanted to take over all the wheat in the world. And why this whole thing with in the Middle East? The why on that one is really complicated. I think the why on Ukraine is fairly simple. The why on the Middle East is not. But it's not, in neither case is it to make the rich people richer. I don't think.
I think it's consequence. It's not the reason, but it's consequence. They know that if they will make more money. It's a consequence. It's the same like everybody knows that if Donald Trump will be elected, Elon Musk will become more powerful because he funded the election campaign, and he becomes. So if you look at the Tesla stock exchange, how it skyrocketed in whatever, are the same with this. A currency, digital currency, cryptocurrency. You see exactly the same style, and it will be crazy if it at the moment when it will reach 100,000. At the moment is 80,000, I think. When the people will try to get it out of the system, they will completely destroy the system because there is none. It's whatever. zeros. But I think that the thoughts which you have answered Kevin already at the beginning with the answer about the flags. I think this is this. I think that, for example, Putin make it because he would like to be in historic books, and he was there after Russia get or Soviet Union get this way, and he would like to have it back because he will be the next Nikolai, whoever was there before the 1918. So, but it did not work, and it will not work anymore. But you are right that
if it's not for profit, if it's not so the rich people can get richer, then
ego of one.
then there is no peace. Then the peace dividend, that concept of a peace dividend, um, doesn't hold water unless everybody buys into the peace dividend, and then everybody will benefit. But with a war, just a few giants benefit. With a peace, with the war dividend, it's just a few people. With the peace dividend, everybody benefits, I think. It, we said in the beginning, Michael, that this is a very heavy word. It's got so many layers to it.
I remember when I was at university, I went to the university on I think it was a Tuesday morning, and the United Kingdom was a peaceful country. When I left and came home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were at war with Argentina. And, the whole country went crazy. Suddenly, none of us had ever met an Argentinian. Very few of us had Argentinian friends, but they were now the enemy. And it's such a weird feeling. Suddenly you're on a train that you can't stop and you can't get off of. It's just the most weird feeling to say, okay, because we're all citizens of the country. Suddenly someone declares that we, meaning all of us, are now at war, if we want to or not.
That's a similar feeling to what a lot of us in this country think, that we are on a train for the next 4 years that we cannot get off of, and we did not define, and that is a weird feeling.
I had one when there started the war in Near East. It started in the very morning. I was going to the work, to the steel factory at the time, and I listened to the radio, and I will never forget what the speaker says. She said, there started a war in Near East. 5 people has been killed and 10 soldiers. And I was at a time when I should go to the army, and she said 5 humans and 10 soldiers. And it stuck so strong inside me that I realized that when I become soldier, I will not be human anymore. And for many years, it came to my mind back all the time when I see similar things. And you are right, it's someone who decide for us what we should do. We have in 1938 are the same. It was decided about the future of Czech Republic without the presence of Czech Republic in Munich. And we remember that till today. And we, all of us, has been part of this revolution events. In today is the 13th. On 17th of November was the Velvet Revolution in 1989 in my country. So it's quite a long time ago, but still I was there. I was just thinking that we are from the generation which was living before Google, internet, all this stuff. But what we'll do, if the electricity will switch off, okay, so we will take the candle and light the candle. But what will do people do who are really dependent on all this new technology, AI and data? And I just seen that Amazon yesterday announced that they would like all drivers wear the glasses with art, whatever, smart glasses, let's call it so, to collect the behavior data of a driver before it will be handed over to the robot. So we are pushed really in this direction of humans are not needed anymore because robots will do the and the people who decided they don't understand and who will buy the things robots. Why should they buy toothbrush? Will we make a robot with a tooth to buy the toothbrush? It looks no. It looks like that today. When I spoke with people, why do you put robot to do exactly with one hand, one head, two hands, two legs to do the work of a human? And the answer every time, the answer is the same. We do not want to change the environment. We would like to save money. So we will do inefficiently what can be done very different way, much more efficiently, when we just change the entity who process it. No, we make exactly the same mistakes. It's so crazy.
I don't disagree with that premise, Michael, but we are, in my view, are not making AI and robots so that we do not need humans. I think we are making AI and robots so that humans can do higher function tasks. So we can give support and a hug. We can listen to someone else and have a communication with them and help them get over whatever tragedy they're having. We can create our, okay, I know AI does that too, but it's a different sort of art. We need, as humans, we need to define what this higher level of functioning is.
And
we have not defined that.
And that's exactly the point. The most important step we haven't done. We develop the technology, we transfer. Just now there was a company called 23 and whatever.
And me, 23 and me.
Yeah, and they collected 26 million genes from the people to analyze what. And just now they get bankrupt. So what will happen? They will sell it to the biggest bidder, which I expect will be from China, maybe from somewhere. And 23 million people will lose their own identity in some way because somebody else will make money out of it. So I think that the definition which you just said, Bill, this is the key. This is the peace in the future development. But instead of concentrating on the peace, we concentrate on the war.
And I think one thing we haven't talked about is peace of mind. The more we have peace of mind, I think the less chance there is of war. The people these days are just so angry. There's not much peace of mind going around the world at the moment.
How do you win yourself the peace of mind? What is your way to get it?
I put all the rubbish in a box. So for example, the American election doesn't exist in my head. It didn't happen. It's not there. I'm not going to get involved in it in any way. But that's the only way I could get peace of mind.
And I do it in a similar fashion. I don't watch the news anymore. That's not an absolute. I watch 80% less news, and so I'm not always agitated, right? That's one way. Another way is I go to nature, either the forest or the ocean, and I'll tell you a really quick story. After my divorce, which was 25 years ago, and it was a very disturbing. And I moved out of the house and I moved here to the beach. And I would go down to the beach at night with a glass of vodka, and I would scream at the ocean. And see, nobody, 10 feet away could not hear could not hear me, but I no longer had to hold it inside. And one day, and I did that for, I forget if it was weeks or months. One day I looked at the ocean in the middle of the night, so you can't really see except from the stars. Um, the ocean said to me, "You are not the first, and you will not be the last, and I've seen worse." And so that's what nature means for me. It's a comfort, puts it in perspective. So going to nature helps my peace of mind.
It's great. It's great. We have 2 minutes left. So once again, we are at the end. But it was so interesting, especially when we started with the get the flags away. Yes, because that's one of the reasons. Many fights and many wars are the people even don't remember why they are fighting, but they hold the flag of the right color and you have the wrong color, so we can fight together. And the peace of mind which you just described, in a way, how the nature can calm us down when we understand that we are the part. It is so interesting and powerful. And the best part about it, it does not cost us anything. Okay, maybe the bottle of vodka costs something, but you don't need it. It was not the vodka what helps you. It was really the voice, the sound, the answer, which you learned in this lesson. And then you make the next step, and just now you are happily married for a long time, and all that is the consequence, but not coincidence. So I think that it is really important that we all hold together. I would like to thank you for the time which we spent together. Have a nice time for your waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free, be human, and be peaceful in mind. Because then you will attract the others to be the same. You will be the nature. Thanks a lot and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.